Hi, it's me, Derek, again. I am back with yet another digital diary clip, and as you can see, I have a new background. I am finally catching up with the rest of the content creators, and so I'm just going to hope that this works. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about being the very best version of yourself. So I have done a lot of thinking and a lot of research, and by the way, this is a prelude to the blog post that is going to be coming up tomorrow on the same subject. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. So I've done a lot of thought about this, about being the best version of yourself. And so I'm just going to use me as the guinea pig. One of the things I have realized over time in trying to be the best version of myself, and this is a little painful for me to say, is to realize just how miserable I am, have been, for lots of different reasons. And realizing that I have to rise above all of that. I don't want to say that I'm depressed, but I'm definitely very anxious. And, I suffer from all kinds of stuff, y'all. Generalized anxiety disorder, intrusive thoughts, OCD, SOOCD, which I'm going to be talking about that one in the future. So keep that in mind, SOOCD. But that's, again, another topic for another day. I'll let you do your research on that. And I need to be in therapy. And trust me, I'm doing my research into finding myself another therapist. But I realize I've got to rise above it in order to be the very best version of myself. I have to tell myself, and I do tell myself on a daily basis, that I can do it, that I can achieve the things I want to achieve, that I can, be the person I have always wanted to be. Being the best version of yourself is different. There's similarities, but there are differences for everybody. You have to tailor make that for yourself. And again, I'm speaking first for myself. And so going back to me being the best version of me, that means actually sacrificing and getting up early in the morning and dancing for my exercise. So there's exercise. That's something we all have in common. People do that to be the best versions of themselves, is to go to the gym. I don't believe in gyms, y'all. I gave that mess up in the 90s. Really the zeros with apartment complexes and getting on treadmills, but neither here nor there. And I realized that being the best version of myself is meditating and getting into a headspace where I can rise above the anxiety, the intrusive thoughts, and all of that, deep breathing, all of that. And it does work for me. It does. I mean, I still have my challenges on a daily basis, but you know what? Being the best version of me means, again, not letting that get in my way, not letting any of that crap, and it is crap, stop me from doing the things that I need to do. Being the best version of me also means trying to eat the best I can. I'm trying to lose this weight. It's hard, huh? Okay, anybody knows who's trying to lose some weight, you know how hard it is. Because that food, girl, be's looking good. And, and by the way, some of these things, again, covering in the blog post, some of them may be new on here, as I'm even doing the stream of consciousness. Try not to script, because I like to keep it just flowing and natural. I think another way for me to be the best version of myself is basically just to take care of myself. Take care, and that's across the board. Mental, physical, emotional, financial, as I say. Mental, kind of already covered that. Physical, kind of already covered that. But just making sure that I'm not hurting myself in any way. Like overeating or over drinking alcohol. Tending to even my household stuff, making sure my living space is clean enough, okay, and I'm not surrounded by a lot of clutter and chaos in my home. Being the best version of me simply looks like me being my creative, authentic self. I have a lot of creativity here, hence I'm doing this, right? Doing this digital diary, keeping up with that. During the week, I get bogged down with work. I work totally from home now, and I hope to keep that up. Working 2 jobs. Basically, one during the day, and then there's the one either earlier in the morning before that or late at night. So Derek's tired. Derek's exhausted. It's exhausting being me. Talking about being the best version of me. But you just have to do it. And so, well, for me anyway. And you have to make time for that creativity. And so I have to, in being the best version of me, get enough rest, which is also very important, rest and sleep, which I still have a hard time with, to be honest with you. The whole sleeping thing, don't get me started on that. To have the energy to do it. And it gets tiring. And sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing it today. And that's okay. Which, again, being the best version of yourself sometimes means saying no, and also means getting as much rest as you possibly can get. You know? Oh, here's one. I don't think I talked about this in the blog post. Being the best version of yourself means surrounding yourself with people who actually give a damn, who actually care, and cutting off those who do not. I feel like I'm a solo act here. I know everybody's busy. Everybody's got their husbands, their wives, their partner, their pets, their dogs, their cats. I just kind of feel like, at least let me speak personally for me, it's not as cohesive. I'm not as cohesive and buddies with certain people as I used to be, and I'm having to learn to just finally just say, you know what, whatever, and let that go. So being the best version of me is just being by myself, honestly, and accepting the fact that, you know what, it's okay. It is okay to, as I like to call it, be a solo act. Or as Hall & Oates wrote way back in the day in 1982, go solo. That's kind of my little theme song right now. Because nobody has time to be around people who are not supportive of you in one way or another. Nobody has time to be around people who don't have time for you. And again, I know we're all busy. I'm busy, right? But nobody has time to just sort of chase after people for their attention, their affection, their little crumbs or whatever. So I'm like, I do not bother to contact people asking if they want to hang out. They don't ask me. I'm not asking them. And when I do go out, and typically, yes, to the bar, and I run into people, it's basically, hey, move on. Hey, how you doing? Move on. Even those people I used to be real close with and thick with, hey, bye. Anybody got time for that? So that's kind of all I wanted to say. Look out for the blog post tomorrow. Thank you so much for this little journey that I am on. And so I'll be back with who knows what to talk about in another couple of weeks on this particular channel, which is the Days of Derek's Mind. Don't forget my other two channels, Derek Talks Soaps, as well as the regular Bitter Queen of Mayfair, which you do get 2 clips out of me a week. And if I'm behind on that, please forgive me. I might slide in a third. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and make a comment, and all that great stuff. And I will see you on the next one. And as always, please be safe and mentally well. Bye.